Well, would you look at that? I'm back again. So, I just wanted to go over a few things when you're putting a new door scan on. Some tips and tricks that maybe you guys don't know. I think it helps. It definitely helps me, learning this stuff all the time. So let me turn this around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so one of the things I do is definitely you don't want to get this super hot because you're going to warp, for one. But every time I tack weld, before it cools down, every tack I just sit and tap just about like that. If you're looking really close while that's still hot, you can watch it go back down. Because every time you weld, and you're welding in a seam like this, it tries to, both sides try to pull up. They'll pull up and they'll keep pulling up, and then you end up with all of this coming up. Now, if you just sit there and tap on it, and I mean tap, you don't have to hit it, just tap it. As long as you're just tapping it, and it's warm, you can watch it go right back down. And so like I said, every tack weld, I just sit and tap on it, and all my surface is even all the way down through, nice and even. It's still got the contour that I want. So just a little tip and a trick right there. Let it cool down. Don't let it get hot. You guys can see my heat range here. Pretty consistent throughout the whole door. That one might have got a little big, but there's no warpage. So tips and tricks, that is one trick. The other trick is when you go to fold this lip in, for one, you want to zip wheel this so it doesn't try to pull all this together. Put a nice V in there. I'd say the same thing right here. Put a little V in there on your corners. V your corners out so it doesn't try to pull all that together. Same thing there. And when you go to fold this lip over, you want to get a block of wood. You do not want one of these. If you got metal on the back side of this, when you're trying to fold that over, you're going to cause damage. Not severe damage, but you're going to cause damage. So if you get a piece of wood and you lay it on there, as you're rolling this over, nice and easy, take your time, rolling that over, you're going to cause a lot less damage. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but from when they stamp this out, there's already a little divot in there. All the way around. So to minimize the damage, wood. Use wood. Or a rubber block, like a hard plastic block. Something like that. The other thing that really helps here, oops, sorry, is having these. They're panel alignment tools. Eastwood. These are going to be your best friend. And so as what I did is I get started over here. I couldn't over here because there's a big metal deal, so I had to do all this by touch. But I'll get here and I'll put 3 or 4 of these down through here, and then I'll just tack, I'll tap, and then I'll loosen and move. I'll tack, tap, loosen, and move until I get to the next one. And as you can see, This sucker is perfect everywhere. And yes, this is a flex core welder. And so as I stopped here, I need to take my wire brush and go and clean all this up. That way I can continue to weld, because sometimes when you're welding with flex core, your welder won't strike an arc because it's hitting the slag. And so once you get it all tacked up just like that, just grab a wire brush. I put a little wire brush wheel on the end of my drill, and I'll go through and clean all that up. Just like this. There, all cleaned up. Everything's feeling good. It's not pulling out because I sit and tap on it. I take my time. None of this is hot. I let it cool all back down, and then I'll just start from this end. And I know most of you guys know this, but you just tack, 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 tack. Go through the door, tacking and tapping, tacking and tapping. And you'll be amazed once you grind this down how there's hardly any body work to it. And if you could get a dolly up behind there, you could probably tap this thing, hammer and dolly it, to where you had no body work. Yeah, it's amazing. Just that little trick of tapping. All right. All right, that's going to be all for today, you guys. Thanks for watching. If you got anything, maybe even something that I can learn, I'm all self-taught. I've never went to school. No one's ever taught me how to do this stuff. All self-taught. So if you guys have another trick for me, let me know. I'm always willing to learn. All right, thank you guys. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.